Welcome to the In My Opinion Show. I'm your host, Ronald Barrington Robinson, seen on the internet 24 hours a day. Folks, please visit our catalog. Go to RBR IMO and then go to videos, and you'll see some very fine programs. I want to introduce our capable co-host, Mr. Henry Hatter.
Hi, Ron. Jackie.
Mrs. Jackie Williams.
Hi, everyone.
Let's talk about that Putin and Trump meeting in Helsinki. I understand from news media it was 2 hours long, but the American public has no knowledge whatsoever of what was talked about, because from the understanding is that that's the first time in history that two leaders met privately without, all they had was a interpreter, but their chief of staff wasn't in the room. Okay, none of that stuff happened, and it's unprecedented. Was the big secret, or was there a secret? Was Putin telling Trump, "That a boy, keep up the good work, Trump"? Just what the heck was going on? The American public wants to know. In fact, the world wants to know. Was there some kind of secret deals? Okay. Is Putin gonna invade another country like he has, and troops, and then that are on ground over there, and then he's lying and saying they aren't? Is there another passenger jet gonna be shot from the sky, where hundreds of people lose their lives? Just what the heck is going on? This world, folks, this world was in trouble. Okay, not just from Trump's leadership, but you got other bad characters out there just waiting, and the distrust that's being created, okay, by the president that we have now. We've lost the confidence in so many of our allies
And respect,
and we need our allies and the respect. Mr. Hatter.
This is all speculation, sir.
No, it's fact.
I know.
You with that Republican.
You're gonna let me speak, right? You're gonna let me speak.
Okay.
This is
as long as it's not BS, Henry.
This is speculation. And besides, Mr. Director.
Mr. Robinson.
Director Robinson.
Yes, Mr. Hatter.
What laws did Trump, or rules, or regulations did Trump break? Cite them for me. Cite them to the American people. They're watching you right now.
You'll see breaking news.
No.
Donald Trump arrested.
No,
and you'll see him in handcuffs being led away.
Okay, but I want you to answer that question to me. What rules did he break? What laws did he make? What precedents did he break? He didn't do anything that nobody else did. We've had strong presidents in this country before, but few of them were as strong as Trump is.
Now you said what laws were broke.
Yeah, what laws did he break?
It wasn't a law, but he did not follow protocol, because this is the purpose of having
a protocol, a law,
emolument law.
No, that's right.
He
but
lost
it's
that.
a governing. See,
yeah,
what
but
it
you guys are putting all kind of
because order eliminates chaos. Let me say it again.
That's a nice thing to say, but
order eliminates chaos.
I read that somewhere else before.
Well,
it was
good.
Just a lot of hogwash.
You heard it here.
This
America.
is a president that speaks very clearly and exactly, and he lets you know what's on his mind.
Henry, they should come and get your degree for that. You are English instructor, and you said he speaks clearly. Did you just say that?
Yes, I did. You know what? When he says something, it angers you because you understand it. Right,
oh my goodness, you heard it here first. That's not the truth. You are a Republican.
But see, you guys have never convinced me, or the American people, they're watching us, that
but I'm just getting ready to
broke
tell you.
Any law,
I'm getting ready to tell you what he did.
Okay, you can tell us.
In the history of any president, there is rules and regulations for every job, regardless to which job
and
it
what
is.
laws?
Even his.
You're whistling Dixie now.
I can't even speak because you're doing just like your president. You're not letting me have a chance. So So this is the thing that he did. When you are to have any type of a summit or anything like that, you're supposed to have the right people at the table so they can make sure that.
And who are they?
Okay, the Secretary of State.
Yes, I was.
Internal Affairs. Is it Internal Affairs or the head of our
National Security?
National Security, the Chief of Staff.
He doesn't have to
Well,
have
right
all of
now,
them.
what it is we don't even have ambassadors in countries that we should have, because they're supposed to be brought to the table too, so that we can discuss the dangers, get an agenda. We didn't have an agenda. He didn't discuss with anybody. He tweeted out what he was going to do, and then everybody had to run behind the scenes and try to fix what he was doing. That is not how things go. And then when they're inside of the meeting, what they're supposed to do is they're supposed to have representation from the United States as well as Russia or wherever country it is, so that we can have a good record of what happens. Because what happened in this summit, he comes right out of the summit and he said it was a very good meeting. And then what happened? Russia breaks news and say that he agreed to do all of these things, and Trump is just denying. But Trump is not a true person. He doesn't tell the truth normally on the 90 percentile.
4,000 lies so far.
So the question becomes, what exactly did they discuss for 2 hours, and what did they agree to? So the Congress said, okay, so can we pull in the translator and ask her what were some of the subjects that were covered so we can cover ourselves? And what did the Republicans do? They turned down the option to have her come in because they didn't want to hear what they know is probably going to be damaging. So we don't know what happened. So the other thing that's supposed to happen is the Secretary of State is supposed to be updated, as Congress stated to him last week. He still has not been updated, not just on Russia, but on North Korea. He still don't know what happened in that meeting. That is dangerous. That is dangerous, because what it happens is Trump inside of there, they don't know what we're compromising.
What laws did he break, ma'am?
You'll find out when you see.
No, I want to know what laws.
Yeah, you'll know when
He
you're
has
seeing
the
Russians on
prerogative.
your
He has the
doorstep.
prerogative to do this, and sometimes there's information that's privy between leaders, and they can't release it until the appropriate time.
But see, we're not talking about
And you
national
got to
security.
remember, that the president alone can make no laws without Congress. They can make no agreement.
He can make an executive order
So what?
without Congress.
No, but he can
And
make an executive order. But is that the law of the land?
But it can change
Hold it. You didn't answer.
It can
You didn't
change how we
answer.
do business.
Is it?
It can change how we do business.
Is
So
it
it's
the
very
law of the
important.
land, or you just refuse to answer?
No,
Don't
it's not
know.
the law of the land, but it
Okay,
is how we do
thank you.
business. How we do business, and the
Now
Congress.
you guys are speculating all of this.
The Congress
doomsday
are
stuff
jelly back right now.
on the
They're not
president,
standing up to him,
in
so he's
which,
able to do it.
There's no substance to it. You're misleading the American people.
I just hope that those generals, okay, will have common sense if he starts some foolishness, all right, wanting to go to war or drop a bomb and this, that, whatnot, okay, on
Speculation
on other
again.
countries. Well, whatever. Generals, if you're listening, be cautious, all right? If he gives you some illegal orders, please don't follow him, because you got millions of Americans and millions of other people around the world. Lives are at stake. You got a fool as a president, a fool. Okay, and when it all boils down to it, I've said this I don't know how many times. Okay, he is not to be trusted. I've never said this about any president in my life.
You've never met Trump before.
I don't want to meet him.
And you've never met a strong president. You've
He's an
always-
idiot.
So
He's an idiot.
so I have a question for you, Henry.
Okay.
So a strong president can get overseas while our allies are watching, and
They can do
everybody-
what?
he can get overseas in Russia, where he was. No, where were they? Helsinki. What was it?
Helsinki.
Okay. He can get there and he can downgrade what our
No,
security.
that was not the intent of the president.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did he use the wrong word?
No, that was not his
He
intent.
purposely said he know that they didn't do anything.
Yeah.
They did no meddling
That was-
after he was informed several times and had proof. Putin had the nerve to say to him, we should come over and be able to evaluate this
I
information
agree
together.
that. I agree with that.
And everybody in Congress voted 98-0 that we're not doing that. So even your Republicans realized that that was not a good idea.
But that was not a formal
And then you've got 17.
position by Congress might have taken that vote, but that doesn't inhibit the president from doing what he had for the reasons that he wanted to meet with the
That's what it said. They
With the
voted
president of-
98-0 that we will not have the Putin come over and review any information with us and work together collectively.
But
We're
that
not
was
doing
after
that.
Helsinki.
Yeah, because he was
But
up there
that was,
misspeaking.
all that
yeah,
you're
they were
spewing-
this is called
you're
the cleanup.
spewing the information that you're sending out to American people.
No,
You're
no,
spewing. Now that was after we had gone
They had to do it.
Helsinki.
You know why? Because your president was promising things he should not have been promising. And then the other
What
thing
did he
is,
promise?
We don't know.
Oh,
he told them that he could come.
Oh,
He said that
give
was
me
a
a
good
break.
idea. That was a good idea for them to come over. And then they also asked for some Americans that they would like to question. And he thought that was a good idea.
well, if you question, isn't that reciprocal?
No.
Why isn't it?
Because Congress once again voted that that's not what we're doing.
But we can do things against other countries that other countries
But we
can't
don't
do
have
against
proof
us.
that you meddle in our. And matter of fact, they said they have proof that Putin himself ordered the meddling. But
I have no problem with that. I believe that.
so does a lot of other
Well,
Republicans.
I believe that. So that's nothing unusual because it's a typical practice that countries
Until he
use against
said,
us.
until he asked a question and said, the reporter asked a simple question and said, who did you want to win the election? He said, I wanted Trump to win the election.
Who?
Putin did.
Oh, of course. What's wrong with that?
He
There
said
were other
because
people
he was
around the
going to
world who
allow
wanted
us to
credit.
regain our position, is what he said.
Position in what? For what?
Right
To
now,
do
they
what?
don't have. Remember, where did Trump go to? What was our
Helsinki.
summit? No. Where our allies, and he said we should bring Russia back in. What was
When we kicked him out, kicked his butt out of
because he did a lot of stuff.
Okay.
He said that, and our allies.
And that's
were,
probably true.
yeah, and our
You
allies
got
were
to
like,
bring
we're
the
not
world
doing that.
community has got to be at the table.
Yeah.
And Russia is part of the world community.
Until they did wrong and did not want to admit it. So they said, we do not need anybody here that's doing wrong things at this table. So
You
they
kick
put
'em-
him out.
And then he invaded.
Okay.
They invaded Crimea.
Yeah. Okay, but you pull the enemy out, you can't keep your eye on them. And that's what military people
But see,
have learned.
what confuses me is that 17 security agencies have testified that Russia is interfering in our political system.
As we
And
have done in so many others.
And Trump is saying, I don't believe him. What is that sending out to other potential enemies? Okay? 17, I think that's pretty much all of our security agencies are saying, yes, Russia interfered. And they've been interfering in other countries too.
But that's not...
Trump is saying, I asked Putin, and he said, there's no truth to that. They're both big liars.
But that's not an unbelievable statement.
What
that
is it?
Russia spied on an election system. That is.
It's not that they spied on it. That's your choice
They
of
are.
word.
They
They
interfered.
interfered.
As we speak.
And
But-
when they say interfered,
Yeah.
they have details of what
Yeah.
they did.
And that happens all the time.
They pay Facebook a lot of money to
yeah.
pick out target people. And what they did is they made the Democrats think that Hillary had it in the bag and they can stay at home.
Yeah. It was gullible
And he kicked
Yeah.
of people who think that does not happen.
Right.
these
right.
17 security
It happens
agencies.
all the time. Now open
He
up your
kicked
eyes.
them all
and your
under the
mind.
bus.
Yep.
All right?
Who did?
Trump. These 17 security agencies,
Even
all
though
right, that safeguards our country. Trump kicked them all up under the bus.
The Russians?
No, our security
Oh,
team that
our
had
system,
found the
our
Okay,
security
information.
explain how he put them under the bus.
Watch the news, Henry.
Yeah, I want to
Read the paper.
Well, just tell me.
All right.
Made it seem like their information was invalid.
You have been watching too much of that daggone Fox.
No, I want to know.
You know what I mean?
How do you feel that he that he kicked him under the bus?
Because he didn't believe him. He does not believe that what they're saying, that Putin was responsible.
Was it Ronald Reagan said believe him, but verify?
Well,
But it's already. How can you verify to somebody that won't read? They said that his attention span is so short, you have to give him information very fast, and then he will still, just like the apology statement that he was supposed to read. What did he do? He didn't read anything else except no collusion, and that wasn't even part. What it was supposed to say was, the American people will find out why, and we will prosecute. He he threw a line through it because he wouldn't say it. So that's the question. That's the real question, Henry. Why is it that your president, who's supposed to represent the United States...
I wish you would call him the president of the United States. Otherwise, you have no right to criticize him.
Okay, well, let me call him that so I can say it. The president of the United States was supposed to represent us as a whole. He's not, because how can you get on foreign soil and say something so damaging to us, where people had to call an emergency meeting, like, you got to fix this. You can't just get out there and say this kind of stuff. But you know what?
But he did.
Yeah, because out of the heart,
and
the
he's
mouth
never
speaketh.
apologized.
Out of the
he doesn't
heart, the mouth
apologize
speaketh.
for anything.
Yeah, and then he backed it. He walked it back again and said it could have been anybody. Well, they didn't find proof that it could have been anybody. They found proof that it was Russia.
I'm not saying that the president don't make mistakes, because we all do.
Right.
Let the person who says that he never makes a mistake cast the first stone.
But let the person that understand that he is less than perfect understand that there is wrong, and he needs to be just as big when he criticized to say that he was wrong. He need to wear the same pants that day, and he needs to stand up and say, I was wrong. I support the United States. Not where you crossing out sentences where you still get to say your underline.
I'll accept that, Jackie.
Okay, well, we agree with that part.
I'll
But now
accept
you're getting to go, but now that's when we're getting to separate.
If you when you're wrong, and you haven't proved him wrong yet.
Who
you
is
just said
wrong?
If he made it.
Mueller has 25 Russians that they have proof that they did a lot of different things, and what they wanted him to do is, when he went over there, is to ask for them to be indicted.
And also some Americans, all right, that were all part of this cover-up. Okay? It's going to come out. It's coming out.
Because they just found a Russian that was in his campaign that was over internal affairs. How do you do that?
I don't know, because there were so many people involved from the Clinton administration, the Obama, and so on and so forth.
That's got nothing to do with them.
Yes, it does.
No, it don't.
No, it doesn't.
He was supposed
You're
to.
muddy in the water.
He was supposed to have.
In the water.
What do they call him? He was supposed to vetted those people. It's his. That's his house now. Okay? You don't just take somebody that belonged to somebody else. This is your house now.
You're right.
You vet them.
You're right.
Okay? So let's not talk about.
The FBI came
now
to him and told him.
Now you remember what you just said. It's his house, and he must make the decision.
Meaning that he's responsible. Not that he can do whatever he want to do. It's not his house in New York.
But you guys,
he still has rules and regulations. He has to answer to the American people. They're going to speak loudly in November.
Okay.
They're speaking at restaurants. They're speaking on the news. They're speaking everywhere.
And you don't
half
know
the
about
Congress
the
is scared to go home. They're scared to go home because they're at their houses. People are at their houses. They're upset.
I don't know whether they're upset.
Sure they are.
You can't even eat breakfast. You see, they made Speaker of the House leave that restaurant. They're like, you won't be eating here.
Ryan, and you also told that old lion ass. What's her name?
And this is the guy in the country that you guys. This is the kind of country that you guys want.
No.
One that goes out and intimidate women.
No, we want
throw her out of the restaurant.
Well,
because she is the president's representative.
No,
this is the kind of country
you're
that you want.
responsible for what comes out of your mouth. You're professional.
And the woman there, what's her name, Maxine Waters, do anything to disrupt the country, including killing him.
No, she did not.
Whatever.
That's a lie. She did not say
think
that.
about what she said.
She did not say that.
Not even
close.
that. Did you hear what she said? do anything to disrupt the
Back
country.
to our regular scheduled programming.
Hey.
Maxine Waters did not say that, so
but guys,
that is
stop
false.
and think about it.
She didn't
false
say
Go
that.
back and pull that. She
She
might
did
not have said kill
Fake
somebody.
news. Fake news.
She might not have said, but it's there for the American people to look at. Go back
Right.
and
Now,
review
I will
what
stand,
Maxine
and
Waters
I probably am
said.
not popular saying this, but I was listening to a conservative talk the other day. I can't think of his name. It's a black guy. He's on CNN. And what he said was, in order for us to get the change that we're looking for, we can't act like what's happening. We have to show somebody something
That's
different.
right.
So that makes a lot of sense.
That's
so
right.
I would say, I'm not saying, I respect Maxine Waters, but again, sometimes, as Michelle Obama said, when they take the low road, you take the high road.
That's right.
Because I'm okay with, standing up and, and all of that, but I'm just saying that we still need to hold ourselves accountable. Back to those rules that you said, we still need to hold ourselves accountable because people are watching.
Jackie,
us.
you and I are on the same page.
That's scary right now for me.
When you can stand up
Right.
and carry on the people's business
Yes.
where the people benefit,
Exactly.
not where a special interest benefit.
Exactly.
No.
And we have a lot of special interests out there. The people who want to interrupt the political process in any way they can, the people who tell lies and don't necessarily support the truth, even by a president that they don't like. That's not good.
No.
And besides, our country's health and progress depends on the multitude of us supporting the president.
And that one guy said this, and I need to look him up, and I read, so I'm going to read
Yeah.
his book, because what he said was,
It makes sense.
he said, everybody, the numbers might be good,
Yeah.
and he said the numbers might be good, he said, but society is not.
Yeah.
He said we're hurting. He said we have more we have more hate crimes than we've ever had.
Mm-hmm.
He said we have bitter people, mean comments, because regardless to how we look at him, Trump is the head.
That's right.
And if he's making nasty, mean statement,
Yeah.
it just validates other people to say rude and mean stuff.
That's in the American people.
Yeah,
That is in-
but it doesn't matter.
That is
you
what-
can do whatever you
and-
want to do, but I still am responsible
Yeah.
for what Jackie does. So I can't hold it at everybody else, but it's still our children are watching. So
Yeah, I
normally
agree.
when the president speaks, you bring the children in so you can teach them. How can you teach them when this president is spewing out mean-hearted things about women and about different races? You can't. So we still have to be held accountable to what we say in our position. It's not even a Democrat or Republican. It's just a right or wrong.
You're right. Now, last week, I think it was on NBC, that they did a survey on humility in America. Did you see that survey?
No.
And they said that we have civility, they used to call. That Americans have lost civility in this country. And it spreads across race, gender, money, colors, black and white, it doesn't matter. We are all that encapsulated in that description. So there's nobody that can claim themselves free of the loss of civility, including the people around this table.
That's right.
We can't accept a president. He's different. And sometimes you just have to try to understand what people have done. Not always, because you can't possibly understand what the president is trying to do when he's trying to reestablish dominance in America so that we can take care of our population.
Okay, but
financially,
how close
money-wise.
is dominance and bullying? How close is that?
I don't know.
Because this is the thing. You can show dominance because I remember Putin was rude to Obama.
Putin is always rude.
He was rude to Obama. No, he ain't rude to Trump.
That's because Trump put Barack Obama on him.
No, that ain't it. That's because he want to be on his lap. That's his friend. But what I'm saying is, Putin was rude to Obama, and Obama, with his nice professional self, He did not bow, but he was specific in what he told him, but he hit him with a sanction. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's a difference between being dominant and being a bully.
No, that
Trump
you
is
gotta
a bully
understand.
because he'll get on tweet and he'll start tweeting about, and then we're gonna do this, and then you guys are taking advantage, and then he's a bully. Because then what bullies normally do is they bark, and then when you get to the room, it's this little bitty dog in the corner.
Yeah.
Weak dog.
Yep.
Weak dog in
a
the
little
corner.
ankle biter.
It's kind of interesting how you coined that. A bully. He is standing up for American systems and principles.
Who is?
The president is.
He started the tariff war, and then he act like he fixed it. No, he is part of the whole
The
problem.
tariff war has to run out.
He is the
No,
problem.
he went back and backed
You
it
said
out.
no.
He
no.
just backed it out.
We still have tariffs, and they're still impacting the United States.
We've always
in a
had
negative,
tariffs.
in a negative
And
way.
we will still have tariffs, and we're going to run the course on this.
And half the Congress don't agree with that.
But the president agrees with it, and through an executive order, he can do that.
But no, because under the executive order, it says only if we are in threat, if the United States is in threat, they can do a tariff. He used it under false pretenses. We're not
Well,
a
I
threat.
don't know whether it's a false pretense.
You need me to send it to you today? It says that's the only time he can do an executive order for tariffs is if we're in threat. If somebody is threatening us, that's when we can use it.
We have an economic imbalance with our other countries. More goes flow out of the country than comes back in. Eventually, we will become a third world country with that.
And the main person that flows it out is your president. Nothing of his stuff is made in the United States.
No.
Yes. So how can you fix a system you won't even fix your business?
You need to follow.
Even his daughter. is getting all her stuff from overseas.
Yeah,
okay?
and she had to shut down
can do
because
that.
they canceled her contracts everywhere.
What's wrong with that?
He told her company
They
that
he told her.
They were covered.
Did you hear this?
We're not gonna put a tariff on you.
Her
You're
company
my
doesn't
daughter.
have a tariff.
Well, is that what he told her?
Yes,
How do
it's
you know?
been on the. You gotta watch
I don't
something
believe
besides
everything
Fox.
that,
You gotta watch something besides Fox.
I don't
It's
watch
other
Fox.
stations.
I don't
You gotta watch it. You
I
gotta
don't
watch it,
Fox.
Henry. Because
But you guys.
what's
these
his
are
name?
fake
George.
stories.
What's his name? No, it ain't.
Yeah.
Oh, what's his
You
name?
guys-
On ABC. Now
you guys
I think he's a very good.
Get half of the truth out
no,
there.
no.
All
And
the
you
truth.
run with it. And you
No,
run with it.
no, we're not
That
running
is
with it.
really
What it
bad.
is just
you
the-
would never make good public policy, people. Because you don't know what the facts are.
No,
you don't try to investigate.
We
what
will
the
make
facts
good
are.
public policy because we tell the truth.
Right.
We don't lie
Depend
and lie and then back.
the truth
pedal
to
and
one person is a lie to another one.
Well, if you tell the truth,
is the truth, regardless of how you look at it. Now, you might not accept it. Now, you might not accept the truth, but the truth is the truth, regardless of where it comes from. It doesn't change. It's the same, and that's something that your president would know anything about.
People like you two and Maxine Waters doesn't support the country.
No,
But don't try to throw it
you're
on the
wrong
country.
there.
Don't throw it
I
on the
object.
country.
I object to that shit.
Yeah.
All right.
Don't support the
We
country.
do respect the country. We
And,
do support the
here's the
country.
thing that you need to
I
remember.
told somebody the other day. Okay, all right. I respect the country. I will die for the United States. I would die for the United States. And there was 10 of them up there. How many of y'all would die for the United States? Not one sound. Not one sound.
And they were thinking, they were hoping not today, too.
And that's how a lot of people are.
See?
A lot of people are all mouth and don't do anything to help bring us together. We do more in
I talk
dividing
that
the
talk
country
and I walk that
than
walk,
we
Henry.
pull it together.
Yeah.
This is what we do. We even here on this forum, we are doing things to further divide the country.
No, we're not. We're informing them of what's
Well,
going on.
ask the American people about when they look at this. Ask them, what are we doing?
We can ask them that.
telling people what we think. This is
What
that's
you
why it's
think,
called.
but
That's
now-
what-
But it can be
that's why it's-
found. It can be found. Documentation that's supported. This is the difference.
That's right.
We have documentation that's supported, and we won't change it to accommodate our purpose.
That's right. With that, we must bring the In My Opinion show to a close. This is, for the time being, that is. We will revisit this topic real quick, okay? Because this country is in one heck of a mess at this point. hopefully, with God willing, it'll straighten itself out. Until next time, this is Ronald Barry Robinson and friends saying, stay focused.